Hey, hola, namaste. It's your friendly neighborhood Lost Canuck coming at you live and in person from Hudson, Wisconsin. Hey, check it out. Got the cooking hat on. You guys all know what that means. What's it? Yeah, doing some cooking. And plus I just finished my free bowl of soup I got with the hat. So, today's cook is going to be super simple. For all you Oklahoma Joes, Bronco 2.0 fans, I'm going to put this on my Joe, Oklahoma Joe 2.0. So, we're going to prep this here up in the barbecue lab, go light the pit, and then throw this on. This is a 3-pound chuck roast, and it's super simple, okay? So, we're going to take this beautifully well marbled, look at the marbling on there, chuck roast. We're going to turn it into this. Stay tuned. All right, so the easiest, super simplest preparation. Now, if any of you guys are beef adverse, you don't like beef, or you don't eat it, this is the spot to stop the video because this is beef, okay? All right, anybody else that wants to keep going? This is going to be a fun and exciting way to make it. Now, I'm going to use some binder, and we're going to keep it real simple. Now, since I'm Canadian expatriate here living in the US, I am going to use HP sauce. One of my favorite sauces. You can get this on Amazon or probably in the international section of the grocery store. So you just put a little bit of the binder on all your surfaces. You want to coat all the sides. Okay, so now that you have your rub on the roast, we got this roast from our friends over in Lake Elmo, Hagberg's Country Market. Those guys are amazing. They got some of the best meats going. This guy is so well marbled. I'm so impressed. Thank you, Billy. Beautiful 3-pound roast here. Kudos to you guys. All right, so let's get our rub on. So in today's video, we're going to use the SuckleBusters 1836. This is really good stuff. Basically, it's a little salt, a little pepper, paprika, a few other goodies like that, Texas style. And we're going to put a nice liberal coating on all surfaces. And then we're going to let this dry brine in the fridge. Okay, so once you get it on the one side, just pat down all your sides. We'll coat all the sides. We're going to cook this like a brisket out on the pit on the Oklahoma Joe 2.0. And then we're going to use some lump charcoal and probably cook her around 250 or so, low and slow, for I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. It's only a 3-pounder. Okay, make sure you get the ends. We're all rubbed up. So what we're going to do is put this stuff back, close up this little prep tub, let it dry brine in the fridge for a couple hours, and then when we're done that, I'll go light the pit, get everything set up with my Chef's Temp S1 and Breezo fan on the Oklahoma Joe 2.0, and we'll start smoking. So I'll see you guys down at the pit. Lost Canuck out. Hey! It's your friendly neighborhood Lost Canuck on this beautiful Wisconsin day. I am going to light up the Oklahoma Joe's 2.0 Bronco drum. And I just loaded it up with some Rockwood lump charcoal, so she's loaded up. I threw some post oak chunks in there to make it nice and tasty. And got my deflector plate in. Got a couple tumbleweeds in here, so let's get this thing lit up. And then I'm going to set my Chef's Temp S1 system in my Breezo fan. I'm gonna set it around 240 in there, and then we'll smoke that chuck roast at right around 240 degrees. Should take about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours to cook. Nice low and slow like that, and then we'll slice it up. So let's get it lit first, and then we can talk about cooking. So I'm going to set my app up to 240. I got it 2 clicks open on the fan, and I usually just set it just between 0 and 1 on this thing, and that usually does the trick. Okay, I'll see you when it's time to put the meat on. See you in a second. Hey, Lost Canuck here. Well, you know it's time to put the meat on the Oklahoma Joe's 2.0. Now I got this nice little chuck roast that's been dry brining in my fridge overnight. And just to make sure we are cooking it to the right internal temperatures, I've got my RFX gateway hooked up. Got my little RFX probes here. I'm going to throw these into the thickest part. Okay, I'm going to put 2 in, 1 on each end. Okay, I've got my pit set at 240 degrees. The Oklahoma Joe's is set at 240. When I say set at, I have my Chef's Temp set at 240 with my Breezo, and I just pause my fan so we don't overshoot. All right, so let's put that right there, right in the middle. Okay, now I got to turn my fan back on. Okay, so that's all there is to it. I'm going to leave this on here for, I don't know, 5 hours or so till the temp comes up. Well, first of all, here's how we're going to cook it. We're going to cook it like a brisket. So we're going to wait till the internals get up to about 165 or so. I'm going to wrap it in some butcher paper, and then I'm going to take it up to about 205, pull it, and we'll slice it up on the board. So next time you see me, I'll be wrapping this thing. I'll see you in the barbecue lab when it's time to wrap. Lost Canuck out. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck here. We're back at the Joe, and the internal temperatures on my chuck roast have hit 160, 161, 160 in there. And I just looked at the bark. The bark looks awesome. So it's time to pull this thing off and wrap it. We've been running the pit around 240 all day. I don't know if you can see that, but the bark looks awesome. So I'm going to take this off. Ooh. I'm wearing my hay gloves that are rated to 250 degrees. Anyway, so we got this in there. We're going to bring it in. We're going to wrap, and then we're going to put it back on the pit and let it cruise up to 205 internal. And we're going to slice it and see what it looks like. So I'm going to turn this thing up to about 300 now. Let it get all settled in at 300, and then we're gonna wrap it. So let's go wrap it. Well, we're back inside the barbecue lab with the chuck roast. I'm just gonna spritz my paper so I can wrap it up a little bit. I like to spritz my paper, make it a little more pliable. There. Okay, so let's get the chuck roll. And I'm gonna wrap it with butter. I'm not gonna use all this butter, but I'm gonna use a couple pieces. Okay, we'll save the rest of this butter for another day. All right, so she's all wrapped up. Let's go put it back up on the pit. I've got it cranked to 300 degrees. We're going to let this cruise up to about 205 internal, pull it off. All right, well, we're back at the pit with the wrapped chuck roast. You can see it's at 300 degrees. Just going to put the fan on pause for a second so it doesn't take off. I'm going to put the wrapped roast right here. There we go. And it's wrapped with butter. Turn the fan back on. And we're done until it's time to cut it. So I'll see you up at the cutting board after I pull this at 205. I will do some quick temperature probes up there, and then we'll see if this thing's any good. Lost Canuck. Hey, it's the Lost Canuck, live and in person up here upstairs in the barbecue lab. And well, we're now at the exciting part. Now, look, it's the next day, and I had a bunch of stuff going on today. So this thing's been in my holding oven an extremely long time. So I don't even know if this is going to be any good or edible or anything like that. So let's unwrap this thing and see what we got. Now, they call chuck roast the poor man's brisket, and you're probably asking yourself, hey Lost Canuck, why do they call it that? Chuck roast is more expensive than brisket. Well, this little chuck roast cost me $28. So instead of spending all your money on a $100 brisket, you can just get yourself a nice little chuck roast that'll feed up the family. Now this looks great. Looks juicy. It's not dry, that's for sure. We'll put a little of the juice. So just take your saved juice, pour that over. Okay, I'm going to pull the RFX probe system temperature probes out. All right, well, let's take a look. Now this was made on my Oklahoma Joe's Bronco 2.0 drum smoker, and we were using some lump charcoal. Well, that part fell right off. Okay, so what do we got? Well, we got a pretty decent smoke ring on there. I see it's cooked all the way through. Everything's rendered nicely. This is more like a burnt end. These are part of one of my favorites. Yeah, you can see it's got a nice, the burnt ends have a nice little decent smoke ring. Let's just finish cutting up this chuck roast. And again, this thing came from our friends over at Hagberg Country Market in Lake Elmo, and they do a really nice job. And it's starting to fall apart where the seam was here. Yeah, it's probably from the long hold. Okay, so there's some nice looking slices. The bark looks amazing on here. I'm just going to take a little burnt end here. It's smoky. I'll take one. Looks pretty juicy to me. Oh yeah. It's got some good beefy flavor. And again, if you don't want to, what you do is you take what's left of your juice. I'm not saying this is dry, but you want to get it nice and juicy, just pour it over the top. I'll give a little piece to my videographer here and see what she has to say. It's good, isn't it? Even with the super long hold, it turned out pretty nice. So you get some burnt ends down at your ends. Middle slices are nice. I wasn't cutting with the grain. That's probably why I was destroying it. That Oklahoma Joe's Bronco, my little Bronco smoker, did a really nice job. Right, we both taste tested it. It's very delicious. I would have told you if it would have sucked. This doesn't suck. It's juicy, moist. Burnt ends turned out nice. Not much else I can say about it, except that if you want to try making a little chuck roast on your drum smoker or your pellet smoker or your offset, go for it. It's probably one of the easiest and most forgiving cuts of meat there is. And yes, again, like this was like $9 a pound, I think. So it was $28 for this little roast, but I'm not spending $100 on a brisket. That's the only reason they call it a poor man's brisket. So, a couple things. If you follow me on Instagram already, thank you very much. I'm up to 326 followers. I'm going to put my Instagram QR code up here. I put out different content on Instagram than I do on YouTube every once in a while. Put some shorts, etc. on there, some reels. So anyways, check out my Instagram page. Again, that's my QR code. If you're interested in anything, well, I didn't check the temp, but it was fine. I had it set at 150. So anyways, if you're interested in any of the stuff I use to make this, cutting board, knives, gloves, ThermoWorks, ThermoPen 1, all that stuff, check out my little store below, or the links that are also below. Hey, it doesn't cost you anything extra, and the channel makes a little bit of a commission, and that's enough so I can keep buying meat and tallow and things like that, gloves. Anyways, and if you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button. That also very much helps the channel. I would really appreciate it. For all my returning subscribers, thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Hey, thanks for leaving me comments down below. You guys are the greatest, and I really appreciate that. Thanks for sticking with me. And for all you new guys and people that are out there watching the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got different content and reviews and equipment stuff coming out all the time. So, and it just helps me grow the channel. It's really tough being a YouTuber nowadays. You know, YouTube keeps changing things, and anyways, we won't get into that, but it's tough. Anyway, special shout out to Baby Back Maniac. I watched your video the other day, and I 100% agree with everything you said about subscribers and views. All right, so don't forget, check out some of my other content over here. I've got a Lone Star pellet smoker. I've got a Blazing Grill Works Grand Slam. I got my little Oklahoma Joes, which you just saw me make all this stuff up on. And I've got some other weird reviews coming out all the time. I know there's 2 more coming, and maybe some different equipment. You never know. So, again, final thoughts. Lost Canuck says, don't forget, be kind to each other. It really helps. Take care. Bye-bye.